Hey, what's going on? I just got off work. It is 4 o'clock. I am exhausted. Today was pretty busy. It actually surprised me because I thought it would be slow because it was, December, and typically around this time of the year it gets slow because people usually are going out of town for the holidays or just not home. But it was busy. I mean, I really can't be mad at the same time. I wanted it to be slow because I wasn't fully up. But at the same time, it made time go by fast. So I guess you could say it was a win-win. I am heading home now. I'm a little bit upset because it is drizzling a little snow. I am not ready for the snow whatsoever. Even though it is drizzling, I'm still not ready for it. I had a busy day yesterday, so I don't really want to do anything today. But go home. But I guess I'll just go home and kind of go through the things that I bought yesterday when I went shopping. I went to a couple stores yesterday. I was kind of proud of myself because at first I didn't really feel like going anywhere. Typically Sundays or my slow days where I just use that day to kind of catch up on what I need to do, like laundry or hanging out with my family, because with my family we typically do have Sunday dinners, so that's what my Sundays are dedicated to, either being with my family, catching up on laundry, or binge watching on shows that I missed because I had to work. So I was actually proud of myself for stepping outside the box and going shopping. I went shopping with my cousin, my older cousin, and we actually caught a lot. We caught a lot of deals, and it was just so crazy because like one of my favorite places to go with my cousin is Ulta. We both are kind of into doing makeup and hair, and it's like, what better place to go to than Ulta, because they have every makeup brand you can think of, every hair product you can think of, and it's just like, why not go there? So the thing about my cousin and me when it comes to going to like makeup stores or even a beauty supply, we literally will end up in both places for hours. Like I can be in Ulta, I kid you not, for a whole day and act like I haven't seen all the items. Like when I go inside Ulta, every time that I do go, I don't go every day. I'll probably say I go once a month. But when I do go, I literally have to go up every aisle to make sure I don't miss any good deals, because you'll go in Ulta and you'll find some deals, especially like my favorite brands, of course, NYX, Maybelline, even Tarte, makeup brands like that, and a lot of times they be on sale. So of course I go up and down every aisle, looking for, good deals. And you know what though? When I went to Ulta yesterday with my cousin, it absolutely surprised me when I saw that they had LA Girl Pro Concealer. I'm telling y'all, I almost snatched my wig off. That's how excited I get, because not all the time I feel like going all the way to the beauty supply. I like to get all my, how you have certain favorite makeup items that you like, but you only get them from certain places. And that was the one makeup item that I could not find at Ulta, so it kind of frustrated me because I always had to go elsewhere to get that item, So now that they have it, it's like, well, shoot, I can get everything I need from Ulta, shoot. Like, seriously, like, they even have Wet n Wild at the Ulta I go to. So that was like, okay. Like, I ain't even get, like, it's just, I'm like, okay, Ulta, y'all step y'all game up. And then when, it absolutely, like, how long I've been waiting on Ulta to come, like, start selling MAC. And when they started selling MAC products and Morphe, it's ridiculous, y'all. But I did get a lot of good products from them that was on sale. Like, I was able to purchase, you know, the NYX Advent calendar. It was on sale, honey. Anytime you can buy an item that was originally $55 for $29.99, if you don't get it, something's wrong with you. Like, yes, I absolutely got it. I almost bought 2. Yes, like, it was that real. I went inside Ulta for like the big Black Friday sale. Literally, it was so packed. The only thing I wasn't able to get, one of the items that I really, really wanted, Ulta had a 10-piece Morphe brush set for $20. Are you kidding me? I could not believe when I saw that, but by the time I got to the store, they was sold out. I was, when I tell y'all that broke my heart, it don't make no sense. Like, that broke my heart. And don't mind me if I, you know, if I am looking away a lot. I am driving, so safe driving. My day was actually good. A continuance from the first Vlogmas I had. I was able to go to work and talk to the guy that, you know, that was escorted out the restaurant that we, you know, went to on Friday. And, you know, he was still upset, which he should be. You know, I would be upset too, because it's like, really? I'm trying to help you out, you know? But hey, whatever. But you know what's crazy to me? The girl that called security and the cops on him didn't come to work today. She called off because she was too embarrassed to come to work. You should be. You should be very embarrassed. Not only should you be embarrassed of how you acted, you shouldn't be embarrassed that you allow people to see you in such a state. Like, here's the thing. It's okay to let loose in front of your friends. Like, look, we work together, and although all of us are cool with each other, we're not friends. You know, we're co-workers that get along. We're not friends outside of work. So I would never let my guard down and, you know, get drunk in front of people that I've never hung out with before. You know, that was my first time hanging out with her outside of work. You know, she don't know me from a can of paint, you can say. So the fact that you felt comfortable enough to get sloppy drunk, like, y'all have to understand, like, I'm not exaggerating. That was the topic of discussion all day today. Like, they literally was like, I mean, it made it worse that she didn't come to work today. Because it's like, if I know I'm in the wrong, regardless of how embarrassed I am or how mad I am, I'm going to humble myself and I'm going to apologize. Because, you know, that's the type of person I am. I'm not going to try to avoid the topic or conversation because you know you was embarrassed or you know you was in the wrong, you know? And then what's crazy is, we, you know, at my job, is different supervisors, and her supervisor in particular said that she heard a whole completely different story. Literally, like, it was ridiculous. I was like, the story that that we were told from a third party was like, you weren't even there. So it was like, it wasn't like she was like, oh, well, this happened to that. No, she's like, well, she said this happened. And I was just like, no, ma'am, that's not what happened. You know, I'm just like, let it, you know, I had to tell him, you know what, at the end of the day, just go to work and go home. I said, you don't have to conversate with her. You don't have to hang out with her outside of work, which is the truth. Just come to work, do your job, and come home. All that extra stuff is just like, no. You know, here in I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. So here in St. Louis, I'm pretty sure all over the world, but in particular in St. Louis, like, I see a lot of pretty houses that are like, one thing I like about Christmas is I like when people decorate their houses for Christmas and for, you know, even for Halloween. but I see a lot of pretty houses that are decorated. A lot of pretty houses. Like, I just drove past this one house that was so big and pretty and had literally every Christmas decoration you could think of. The only thing she was missing was the real Santa Claus. Because it felt like I literally drove past the North Pole. I love Christmas holidays. My family, we typically have a tradition where we all get together for Christmas Day in the morning, and we have a huge Christmas breakfast. Like, this Christmas breakfast is like the breakfast version of Thanksgiving. Like, my grandmother, she literally makes so much food. Like, you will have several plates to take home. Like, it's no joke. And because my granny, she know how to cook her butt off, and everybody in my family knows she know how to cook her butt off. So typically around this time of year, a lot of the family do try to either fly in or come and be close to her so they can come to the Christmas breakfast. Which, shoot, if I stayed in another state, I promise you, like, I would fly her into quickness. I'm excited though, because this year I was literally, like, I was a little nervous at first, but I was finally able to, like, request the last week of December off for Christmas. I requested that whole week off, put my vacation days, which I put it in at first. I put it in a while ago, like a couple months ago. And when I first put it in, my manager told me, I don't know if I'm going to be able to approve those days, because a lot of people are trying to go out of town for Christmas, which I understand. But I just assumed, like, well, let me put it in now a couple months early. But apparently a lot of people did. So it actually surprised me when I saw that they approved it. He literally came up to me and was like, "Ari, I got a surprise for you." I was like, "What?" He said, "I approved your days." And I just was like, I just start smiling. He's like, "What are you smiling for?" I'm like, "Because that means in 3 weeks I'm not gonna see y'all for a full 7 days." He started bugging up, but I have a cool relationship with my supervisor. Actually with my whole team, I have a cool relationship with them. Like, we all know what's going on with each other. Like, just not too long ago, my sister had her daughter prematurely, so a lot of people at my job knew about it, because they knew my sister was pregnant, because a lot of the times she would be sick, and you know how you can look at someone and just tell, like, they mind is elsewhere. It was that situation. So they they'll always be like, "Hey, what's going on? Is everything okay?" And I would just, let them know, like, "Yeah, my sister, she just, haven't been feeling well, and she pregnant." So it's just kind of like a lot on my mind. And so once they found out that she had my niece early, like, she had my niece 2 months early, like, they was worried, because when my niece was born, she literally, she had trouble breathing on her own. And not only was she having trouble breathing on her own, the nurses was having trouble feeding her because she couldn't breathe. Every time they would try to, give her a bottle, it would sound like she was struggling for breaths. So what they had to do was put a feeding tube in her mouth, which, something like that, it's kind of hard to deal with. I can just imagine how my sister feel about it. But my niece was so small when she was born. She literally was like 4 pounds. She was so small, so tiny, to, like, literally, but she was so tiny to the point, like, you can literally hold her with one hand. Like, she was that small. And then the fact that she was having trouble eating because of her breathing, it took her a little time to start gaining weight. So she was born in August, in mid-August, and she was, like, in the hospital from August all the way up until November. You know, that's stressful having a baby in the hospital, you know, almost 4 months. You know, that's sad. It took, you know, about 4 months for her to be able to see, you know, the outside world. All she saw was nurses coming in trying to feed her for 4 months. You know how traumatizing that is for a mother, you know? And then once, you know, she was able to come home, she had to go right back, like literally a week later, because of complications with her health. So it's like she came home and went right back a week later, which it was no, you know, which it was no one's fault, but at the same time, it's like at least she got to be close to her older brother. You know, her older brother is only 5 years old, but he says all the time, I love my sister TT, I love my sister TT, which he does. It's normal. He always asks about his sister, but you know, we just keep praying for her. She's been fighting. She's been a fighter since she's born, so hey. But she'll get better. Last time I talked to my sister, she said she was doing okay. She just in the hospital under observation because of her blood pressure. And they put a feeding tube back on her. Yeah. The only thing I don't like is seeing the tubes in her mouth and in her nose, you know, to kind of help her eat and breathe. But, you know, hey, she needs it, so can't really complain about it. I do have a quick question. Speaking of babies being born early, what's some good places to get clothes for premature babies? Because it's cold as I don't know what it, you know, here in St. Louis. And it's real hard for us to find my niece a snowsuit because she's so small. So the typical size for her, she, you know, she's about to be 4 months. So the typical size for 3 to 6 is extremely huge on her. So it's just like, it's been a struggle trying to find, you know, clothes for her, especially for the winter. Like we do have one snowsuit for her, but it's just so big, it's swallowing her. If y'all was to see my niece inside this snowsuit, like, y'all would have died laughing. Like it ate her up, like it just swallowed her. It was just so big. So let me know what good places to shop at for, you know, premature babies. I have been doing a little research, but I haven't seen anything yet that I feel like a fit her. Because it's even hard to find her clothes too. Like, it's very hard. Like, me and my mom had went shopping to kind of, you know, get her some clothes. And literally, we was looking for like an hour. We went to Walmart. Of course, their clothes was too big for her. You know, they have, you know, clothes for babies that are, you know, small, but she was extremely small because she's born too early. So just let me know any recommendations for where to get clothes for premature babies. So I have to tell you all what happened at work. Oh my God. So today at work, okay, so at my job, we have a point system. Of course, you know, most jobs have point systems where they allow you a certain amount of times to call off or be late, you know. So my job has a point system, and our point system is 5 points. If you call off, that's 1 point, and depending on how late you are, that could be like half a point. So there's a female in my job. She started in October. She has literally, well, this is the thing. So in my the department I'm in has 3 supervisors. Like, we're all the same department, but we have 3 different teams, you know, with 3 different supervisors. So one of the supervisors is a lady that was just hired. You know, she's been there for a few months now. So she referred a girl to my job. So the girl that was referred by the supervisor that had just got hired, during my job, the girl started on October 1st. October 1st. And she has, since October, called off. She has called off 4 times. She has asked to leave early 3 times. And then there was one time where she was beyond late. Like, she was like almost 2 hours late. And it was so ridiculous because you know, like I said, the lady referred her to the job. So what the lady was doing was, rather than give that girl a point, which is what she was supposed to do by policy, she was putting in PTO for every time the girl called off. So rather than the girl, she was supposed to have, anytime you call off, that's a point. She called off 4 times. And then other times she left early 3 times, so that's half a points. So that right there is 5.5 cut from that. And then she was late one day, that's another half a point. So she's already at 6 points. Well, she's supposed to be at 6 points. So the lady was putting in PTO. So when you put in when PTO was put in, you don't get a point. So what happened was, the girl, like, we was working on the weekend, me, the girl that, you know, kept calling off and being late and, you know, asking to go early, and she was talking to me and a couple of the other co-workers, and we all got to talking about attendance. And somebody was like, it's only a few people up here that, you know, have only a couple points. It's, you know, it's a lot of people in my, you know, department that has a lot of points. But and she slipped and said, she's like, I only have 2 points. And y'all should have seen the face that I made to my friend that was there. I looked at my friend and she looked at me, and we get her that, did she really just, yes, like, we legit. And then the girl seen how me and my friend was looking at each other. She's like, why y'all looking like that? And I had told her, you know, I'm not a disrespectful individual, but at the same time, I'm not gonna tolerate stupidity. I said, how do you only have 2 points when you've called off 4 times, asked to go home 3 times, and was 2 hours late another day? How do you only have 2 points? And I guess she realized, well, you know, what I was saying was facts. Because I had my receipts. I'm like, nah, you ain't got no 2 points. Something ain't right. So that's when we wound up finding out. That's when we found out that that lady that referred her was putting in PTO. So, of course, one of my other coworkers had went and complained to HR about it, which they should have. And then a couple days later, it was so funny, I'll never forget. A couple days later, she you know, she was at work and she was just real quiet. You know, she was doing her job, but she just real quiet. Like, you could tell something was off, something was wrong. So, you know, somebody asked her, like, hey, you know, everything okay? What's going on? And she was like, my kids, you know, it's the winter time, so my kids, you know, be getting sick a lot in the winter or whatever. And she said, I can't even call off no more because I got all these points. And me and my friend just looked at each other like, you think? And I'm just like, girl, you do not get no special treatment up here. And it's just, one thing about me is I hate people that feel like they're entitled to special treatment. Like, you have some people that feel like, oh, well, I've been here 10 years, I should get this. at the end of the day, even if you was, I ain't trying to be funny or nothing, or you know, trying to toot my horn. It's people in my department that have been there almost 10 years and ain't pulling in numbers or scores like I am, and I ain't been there a full year. I'm talking about 10 years, legit 10 years, and ain't pulling in numbers like I am. So I don't want to hear nothing about seniority or you feeling like, you know, you entitled to something. Like, that's what gets me. I feel like your job should speak for itself. Not how long you been here. Your job should. It doesn't matter if you've been here for 10 years. Does your work ethic show what you saying? And if not, then what are you upset about? But whatever, you know, I don't ever let anybody personal feelings of, you know, jealousy. Like, we cool with each other, but of course, you know, it's always competition when it come to, you know, who the best, and that's normal. But at the same time, don't knock my hustle because I'm doing good because you feel like you been here longer. Doesn't make sense. At the end of the day, it's all about the numbers. And I ain't talking about the number of years. But I had a good day today though at work. It was busy. It was really busy, but typically on a normal Monday it is busy, but typically in December it's slow. So like, again, it surprised me that we was busy today, but it did make time go by fast. Like, at one point I looked up and I was like, dang, it's 1 o'clock. Like, I thought it was every bit of like 11, you know, every time, because I have to be at work so early. So by the time my lunch come, I'll be like, dang, it's time for my lunch. Like, I wasn't really hungry today. I really wasn't. So I didn't eat lunch today. Now I'm starving. And that's why I did that. I don't know, like, with me, my eating habits is so weird. Like, for example, if I eat breakfast, I ain't gonna want to eat lunch. Like, I'll literally be full up until dinner time. Or if I eat lunch, I'm not gonna be hungry until tomorrow for breakfast. Like, that's, like, seriously. Like, today I haven't eaten breakfast and I haven't eaten lunch because I wanted to make sure I had an appetite for dinner. I wasn't hungry for lunch, for breakfast or lunch, which surprised me because typically I usually be hungry for breakfast, and then by the time lunch come, I'll be like, yeah, I ain't hungry. But I wasn't hungry at all, period, for either one. It was. And then another thing about today, like, I don't know what was going on, but my phone was going off all day. Like, people kept calling me and texting me all day. Now, don't get me wrong. People will text and call me on a regular basis anyways, but today it felt like every contact I had wanted to call me and talk to me. Look at the little red tent for somebody brake light. You know what? My eyebrows today, I did good. And the reason I say that is because I don't care what any female say. When it comes to eyebrows, it's always one that you do with one eyebrow that you can do it with your eyes closed because it's always perfect. And then you got the other eyebrow that just don't want to act right and you just want to throw away the whole eyebrow or cut off the whole eyebrow. But this morning, it surprised me when I got both of them the way, you know, that I like. Because sometimes they be looking like cousins. Right now they look like stepsisters. But that's cool. But, you know, typically when I do work, you know, I do my makeup differently. You know, it depends on how I feel. But it's been so cold, so like I don't be trying to be too extra with my makeup at work because it be so cold, and I just be I have to wake up a little earlier than usual because I have to, you know, heat up my car. So that does kind of cut into my do my makeup time, because look, I be tired. I ain't trying to wake up no earlier than I have to sometimes. So I'll wake up a little early enough to heat up my car, you know, but it, you know, to a limit. So what I've been doing lately is I'll do my makeup, you know, a natural, you know, the basic everyday makeup, you know, highlight, contour, and I throw on some lashes, as you see, and keep it pushing. Y'all, when I tell y'all, this lipstick that I have on literally lasted all day. I had several cups of coffee today. I had a cup of water. I didn't eat. I told you, you know, I wasn't hungry, so I didn't eat. But through all that, typically, like when I drink, my lipstick starts to kind of, you know, come off. This lipstick literally stayed on all day. Only thing I had to do to keep touching up was I put on the lipstick first, and then I usually put on like a shimmery clear gloss on top of the lipstick. Like if I put on a matte lipstick, I typically like putting a clear gloss on top to kind of keep it from feeling too dry. But that's the only thing I had to touch up was the clear gloss. Like this pink lipstick, the pink tint you see, has been on my lips all day, no touch up, all day. Only thing I did was put a touch up of lip gloss. Only thing. But you know, I like trying out new lipsticks and stuff, but hey, now that I know that this lipstick can hang, I will be using it more. I'm almost at home. Of course, you know, one thing I hate is rush hour traffic. I promise y'all, I have the worst road rage. It makes no sense. The worst road rage. I can't wait to get home to show y'all what I bought. I get excited. I promise y'all, I get excited every time I buy makeup. My granny called me crazy yesterday. She called me crazy because I had, like I said, you know, I went to the store with my cousin, and my cousin stays, you know, next to my granny. She was like, where y'all finna go? Because, you know, she cooked Sunday dinner. Where y'all finna go? I said, to Ulta. She called me crazy. She said, you need to go to rehab. I said, what? She said, you need to go to makeup rehab. And I said, why, granny? She was like, you have, like, oh my God, like, I need to show y'all all the makeup I have. Like, you know, I ain't gonna sit up here and say I have the most, more than anybody, but I have a lot of makeup to the point I need to buy some makeup organizers. That's what I need to get. I'm gonna go to my good old trusty Amazon and order me several makeup organizers because I have so much makeup. When I tell y'all, I legit, like, if before I go to bed, I, you know, plan out how I'm gonna do my makeup for the next day. What I do is go find the makeup I need and sit it out like it's that bad. Like I have that much makeup. And I wouldn't change it for the world. Like, I like trying new stuff. Like, yes, I don't know what it, and I think what it is with makeup, I like feeling like I can switch up my, you know, anytime I do my makeup, I can switch up my personality with different styles that I try. You know, so that's one thing I do like about it. Like, you can express yourself in different ways. So I never get bored with makeup. I remember when I first started wearing makeup, I was in high school. Like, I started when I was in middle school, but I had to sneak and do it because my mama was always like, you can't wear makeup till you're in high school. You can't wear it. You can't wear it. And I used to sneak and wear it literally when I was in middle school. Like, I bought me a little cheap little eyeshadow palette from Walgreens. I'll never forget. A Wet n Wild eyeshadow palette. And I would literally go to school and do my makeup at school. Oh my God. Like, I'm going to dedicate a video to show y'all how I used to do my makeup back in the day. It was horrible. It took for me to start watching YouTube videos when I was in high school to be like, girl, get your life. Shoot, how my makeup was looking, I needed to get several lives. It was a mess, y'all. But you know, back in the day, I thought it was the stuff. For real. But hey, you know, you live and you learn. Like, even my mom said, like, she, you know, would literally say, you have improved so much when it came to your makeup. And you know, I was so happy because, you know, my family is my biggest supporter, which naturally they would be. But, you know, I felt, you know, anytime one of my family members asked me to do their makeup, it kind of give me this feeling of, okay, you know, accomplishment, if that makes sense. Hold on, y'all. You know, I gotta park. Give me a second. I'm pulling in. Give me a second. Okay. But yeah, it give me a sense of, I don't know, like I mean, of course it makes me happy about it, but it kind of give you a feeling of validation. You know, like, okay, they like what I'm doing. And to me, you know, this is a hobby for me. I literally will be at home, have nowhere to go, and will do my makeup and I'll wipe my face, clean it, scrub it down, soap, water, whatever, face products, and do it again and again and again. Like, it's what I like to do. My one of my aunts had got married in June, and when she got married, a couple of my aunties wanted me to do their makeup, which I was happy about it. But it ended up pretty good though. It ended up pretty good. We all looked amazing. I was one of the bridesmaids, so was some of my aunts. Some of my other aunts. We were, you know, the bridesmaids. The dresses were beautiful. But I was happy with the end results. I was.